Throughout history, there have been countless unexplainable stories, events, and moments captured on audio. These horrifying tapes were archived, never to be heard again. Until now. These are the tapes of trepidation. Tape number 75. All depart from here. In autumn, I would try to take as many walks downtown as I could. I always enjoyed the crisper weather, the wider range of colors in the foliage. I remember one day in particular when the waterfront was as busy as it would be in the summer. There was what appeared to be a high school trip there, groups of teens huddling up to take group photos. After looping around a large pier, I saw what I can only guess was the school's sports team. They were excitedly reciting a team jingle, which I could not make out, and would march alongside the rhythm. They happened to be going down the same path I was, but being a leisurely walker, I didn't make much of an attempt to strictly follow them. Not much else happened that day. Nothing that jumps out at me, at least. People went about their business, not paying much mind to the high schoolers. Someone that I do remember was a rugged old man at a shoreside pub. The man was dressed in a sweatshirt and sweatpants, each the same navy color, and an incredibly tacky-looking bright red beanie. His face was like that classic cliche image of crusty, salty, and drunken sailor. A medium-sized beard that was dark gray, large eyebrows, and reddened cheeks and nose. You would expect this guy to either have a grumpy scowl slapped across his face or be in fits of drunken, roaring laughter. But the look on his face pierced into my heart. He was looking past me, to the beach that I was going near. A rough hand was raised up, covering his tightly closed but quivering lip. I could see his dark eyes sparkle with tears, despite his intense trembling. I shyly avoided eye contact, so as to not get into an awkward situation. Sometimes, I wonder if that was the right decision. A half hour later, I passed by a cheap and greasy seafood joint, recently closed down for the evening, and walked up the town's jetty. On my route, this is where I would loop back around and head back home. Something caught my eye off in the distance. Around 600 meters away, I saw a solid white line. The high school sports team, marching in double file on the beach. They weren't walking along the beach, but rather heading on into the sea. I was frozen in place, hoping that they would change directions or something, anything. But they just kept going, forcing themselves deeper, looking like their shoes were filled with lead. A few of the guys were desperately trying to keep their heads above water, struggling to breathe, but they were in the minority. I fumbled for my cell phone, even though I was frantically dashing to the beach. I couldn't run over in time in order to save them. I had to call 911. The police managed to get there before I could. but they were just idly looking around the beach, not even paying attention to the large white jerseys and drowning bodies in the water. The sheriff was there and approached me as if I had made an error calling in. He told me that I must have been seeing things. The sea foam could look like a bunch of white clothing from a distance. He would just keep going through these stupid justifications for what I saw, even as I dragged a limp body onto the shore. The sheriff looked at me as if I were a sad mental patient, clasped his hands on my shoulder and told me that I was only seeing things. He appreciated my concern, but I should be checked out somewhere for my own safety. The body was rolled onto its back by the rising tides. The corpse's face was pale and light blue. Small black snails were on his face, in his eyes, and in his gasping, deranged, smiling mouth. The sheriff assured me that I was only seeing things, that they weren't real. The sea claimed the body once more. The walk back home was longer, my stroll having become shaken and somber. I passed by the pub once more. The warm orange lights had come on for the evening. I could see that old man, but from the back, another old man was beside him, his arm wrapped around the other man's shoulders. The man I saw before was deeply, silently sobbing. I passed by the large pier once more, noticing a stark white sign with deep blue writing on it. All depart from here. This has been tape number 75, All Depart From Here, by the Tapes of Trepidation Horror Narration Podcast. All Depart From Here was written by HyperThermal and was originally posted on the Creepypasta Wiki. Narration, production, and sound design for this episode was by TJ Hodder. Credits for music and additional sound design can be found in the show notes. The Tapes of Trepidation theme was written by the incredible J.M. Scherf. All logos, banners, overlays, and graphic design work was provided by the talented Jason Reese from Jaybird Digital Arts. If you have a story you would like to submit or a question regarding the show, please contact us at tapesoftrepidationpodcast@gmail.com. Support the show by subscribing and leaving a rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, your favorite podcatcher, or like and subscribe on YouTube. And be sure to tell your friends. Word of mouth is extremely helpful to a podcast like this one. And check us out on social media through the link tree in the show notes. We have Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Discord. I say it all the time, but if you enjoy this podcast and you're not active over on the Discord, you're missing out on part of the experience. I interact as much as humanly possible over there, and I have a great community. We're always sharing music and memes and fun stories and, of course, horror-related recommendations and things of that nature. You'll also get behind-the-scenes updates on the show, fun little anecdotes about recording and things of that nature, and also you can just generally interact with me if you so choose to want to do something like that. It's a great time. So if you use Discord, come hang out with us. And if you'd like to support the show a little more, consider joining the Tapes of Trepidation Patreon. With as little as $5 a month, you can gain access to monthly bonus short story / micropasta narrations, the weekly behind-the-scenes podcast within the archive, and more. So come, join us and become trapped within the archive. Just like my current patrons, Doozer Pin Dan, Ronan Kumori, Eric Phones, Patrick Stewart, Madam Strangeways, Dr. Torment, Tori, and Queen Cam. Thank you all so much for the support. I couldn't do this without you guys. Well, dear listeners, we're just a few short days away from Halloween week. Starting on October 27th, you'll hear a brand new episode every day up until October 31st, including on October 31st. It's the best time of year for horror fans, and it would really mean a lot to me if you take a second to share the podcast with other horror fans who are maybe looking for extra content this month. All content used on Tapes of Trepidation is either original, used with permission, or is available on your Creative Commons by Share-alike license. All rights reserved unless otherwise stated. This podcast and its content may not be redistributed or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Tapes of Trepidation and the story's author. Thank you all so much for listening.